Good morning, tribe. Good morning. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So we're actually going to start with a little bit of cat-cow as usual. You know, anytime that we're doing core, we're actually kind of doing a lot of maybe work with our back too. So I always like to kind of start off with some cat-cow just to warm up the spine. Nice and good. So let's bring the wrists underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath of the hips. Bring that belly button into the spine, nice flat back here. Keeping a neutral neck, looking down at the mat about 2 or 3 feet in front of the hands. On your next inhale, we're gonna lift those hips, release the belly looking up into cow. Exhale, tuck the pelvis under, lift the ribs, top of the head releases down to the mat, pressing away from the mat. And continuing with cat-cow, moving with your own breath. Inhaling on the cow pose and exhaling on the cat pose. Let's take one more round. Really over-exaggerate. Coming into the postures as much as you can. And then we'll come back to tabletop position. All right. Let's go ahead and bring the hands forward a little bit. We're going to come all the way down onto our stomach into a prone position. All right, hands coming right underneath of the shoulders, keeping the feet together on this. So let's zip the legs together here. Hands are under the shoulders. Engage the core. Inhale, really engage that core. And then exhale, pressing up. So only come up as far as it's comfortable for you. If you want to come all the way up and get that deep back bend, you can come up halfway, keeping the elbows bent. So find what feels good for you this morning. But remember to engage the core. We're protecting the lower back, right? So the back and the core go hand in hand. And then lower it down. Keeping the chin on the mat. We're going to lift the legs here a little bit and do some flutter kicks. So lifting the legs as far as you can and then taking some kicks here. Again, keeping the core nice and tight, right? Elbows in tight to the sides. We're going to keep going for another 30 seconds. You got this. Try to get the legs up high. Breathing, breathing. 3, 2, and 1. Release them back down. All right, let's bring our ear to the mat. Bend the knees, windshield wiper the feet side to side. All right, and then bringing them back down. Tuck the toes. We're going to press our way up into our plank position. So keeping the fingers spread on the mat, middle fingers facing the front of the mat. We're going to hold our plank here for 3, 2, 1. Then we're going to start to bring the hips over to one side. Find a dip. Other side. Dip. Keep going. Dip. Dip. 2 more times each side. Last one. Back into plank. Shift it forward. Lower down, hover above the mat. And release all the way down. Give yourself a little break. Take some breaths. Remember to keep breathing. Sometimes when we're doing any type of ab work or balancing poses, we have a tendency to think, hold your breath, don't move. But when you can find that breath with the movement, it'll actually help you balance better. Believe it or not. All right, so we're back down on our bellies. This time we're gonna bring the arms down to the side, palms facing up. Chin comes down to the mat. And then inhale, engage the core. Exhale, bring it up. Locust pose. If you want to bring the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, squeeze those shoulders together, keeping the core nice and tight. Lifting the legs, lifting the chest, trying to bring the bottom of the chin parallel to the mat. But not by throwing our head back. Right, so we don't want to throw our head back. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back down. Take a little break. Hi, Luna. Hi, Luna, honey. Bending the knees, windshield wiper the feet side to side. So if you guys have taken my classes with me before, you know that I have cats. It's very obvious that I have cats. Yeah, go over there, Luna. No. But maybe some of you don't know how many cats I have because it's kind of ridiculous. But I think that's the first time Luna's ever come over into any of my videos. All right, so we're gonna come up, we're countering that stretch a little bit. So let's just drop down into a quick child's pose. There's a lot of back bending going on, and so anytime we're kind of, bending the back and using our core that way and compressing the vertebrae and the lumbar spine, it's important to counter that by creating space in that lumbar spine between the vertebrae. So coming into child's pose is a great way to do that. Taking a deep breath. All right, lifting back up. Let's make our way onto our seats. Bringing the legs across, sit up nice and tall. All right, let's take our peace sign fingers to our big toes. Kind of start to sit back onto that tailbone a little bit. Stay nice and lifted with the chest here. Shoulders are down and away from the ears. We're just gonna lean back with a straight spine and then eventually, maybe, bring the legs out into a V, into upright seated angle. So making sure that we're not rounding to get here. You bend your knees a little bit if you need to. You might not be able to straighten them all the way. That's okay. So it's way more important to keep a straight spine than it is to keep straight legs. So if your legs are straight but your back is like this, straighten it out. You may need to bend the knees. 3, 2, and 1. Let's bring the legs together for boat pose. Again, staying lifted with the chest, nice straight spine. 3, 2, 1, and release it back up. Maybe take a little just side to side here. All right, back here. Bringing the feet down to the mat. We're going to bring the hands behind us, fingertips facing the sits bones. And we're going to come into a reverse tabletop. So the wrists are going to be under the shoulders, ankles underneath of the knees, lifting up, keeping that tummy engaged. Hold. Breathe. Now we're going to take some dips here. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hold. 3, 2, and 1. Lower down onto your seat. And then coming back into our boat pose. 3, 2, 1. Start to lower down nice and slow. All right, once you're all the way down, let's go ahead and bring the feet back in towards your seat, reaching the fingertips down towards the heels, preparing for bridge pose. Take a breath. Inhale, engage the core. Exhale, press the feet into the mat, lift the hips up, moving the chest towards the chin. We can interlace the fingers underneath of the back, roll the shoulders under if you want. Another option is to reach the hands for the ankles. Try to keep the knees parallel here, so don't allow them to come out to the side. 3, 2, and 1. Lower it back down. Bring the knees into the chest. Maybe find a gentle rock side to side. A little bit of movement here. All right, feet coming back down to the mat. We're going to do five times, pressing up into bridge pose with using the arms. So it's going to look like this. We're going to press up and at the same time move our arms back and then bring it back down. Okay, so let's do that 5 times. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, remember your breath. 1, exhale, press up. Inhale, bring it down. Bring the knees back into the chest. Again, just creating that space here in the lower spine, in between the vertebrae. All right, now we're going to take our legs straight out. And this one can be a little bit difficult, so just be patient with yourself. Arms are going to come behind the head. Inhale here. Exhale. Shoot it up and touch the toes. All right, 2 more times. Bring it down nice and slow. Controlled. Use the abs. Arms coming overhead. Inhale. Exhale. Bring it up. Good. 1 more time. Bring it back nice and slow. Use those muscles. Good. Arms coming back. Taking 1 more inhale. Exhale. Go. All right. Nice and slow. Bringing it back down onto the mat. And then once you're there, bring the arms out beside you, palms facing up. Feet can come out to the edges of the mat. Allow them to just gently fall out to the side. Shavasana is optional. You don't have to take a Shavasana. It was just a really quick little 15-minute flow, but I always like to treat myself with a Shavasana, even if we just did a couple sun salutations, right? So take a little time for yourself if you feel called to. If not, that's okay too. Honoring whatever your body is asking of you. I hope everybody had a great fall equinox. We are officially in October now, so things are starting to, this is a really good time to mimic nature and release what's no longer serving us, right? Let it go, just like the leaves fall off the tree. This is a really great time to be releasing for yourself as well. So I hope you guys all have a beautiful day. If you decide to stay in your Shavasana, just close the eyes. Return your breath back to normal. Unclench the teeth in the jaw, releasing the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Allow yourself to sink deeper and deeper into your relaxation with each exhale. Staying here for as long as you like. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here with me today. It was my honor to guide you through your practice. Namaste.